By 2030, Denmark has committed to having reduced its greenhouse gas emissions by 70%. This is equivalent to reducing the country's carbon emissions by 49 million tonnes compared to 1990. It has taken 30 years to achieve half of that. Denmark now has 10 years to achieve the second half. It's an ambitious goal, but in the Danish Energy and Utilities Climate Partnership, we have a clear plan and a clear set of solutions. In our roadmap, we answer 3 central questions. How can we reduce our own emissions in the energy and utilities sector? We have already come a long way. Since 1990, we have reduced our emissions as a sector by 58%, but we need to go even further for Denmark to be able to reach its goal. With the plan we're putting forward, we will reduce our own emissions by at least 95% and make Denmark's energy supply almost entirely carbon neutral. In doing so, the energy and utilities sector alone will deliver half of the reductions Denmark needs to make in the next 10 years to meet its 70% target. This can be done by completely phasing out coal, oil and natural gas from Denmark's electricity and heat production. The use of coal must be phased out in all power plants. District heating needs to be free from oil and natural gas. The amount of plastic burned in waste-to-energy plants needs to be reduced through better sorting. Oil and natural gas-fired boilers for individual heating must be phased out. At a number of plants, carbon should be captured directly. Oil and gas production in the North Sea must be electrified and made more efficient. These plans set the energy and utility sector on course for a carbon reduction of at least 95% by 2030. Instead, much more energy needs to come from green sources such as offshore wind, onshore wind, and solar power. There's also a need for more biogas, electric heat pumps, and green district heating to help meet Denmark's energy needs. But how can the energy and utility sector contribute to carbon reductions in transport and industry? The energy and utility sector can deliver half of Denmark's necessary reductions by 2030. The other half must largely come from transport and industry. An energy and utility sector that is almost carbon neutral can help industry and transport to halve their consumption of coal, oil and natural gas by 2030. This involves replacing fossil fuels with green electricity from renewable sources, which also improves energy efficiency. In the transport sector, this can be done by replacing cars that run on fossil fuels with electric vehicles that run on green power. The same should be done for buses and commercial vehicles. We also need to develop new green fuels by using power from wind turbines to produce hydrogen and other fuels. These can replace fossil fuels in trucks, ships, and airplanes. In industry, it is necessary to phase out natural gas and replace it with biogas. Increase the use of electric heat pumps to produce green heat for industrial processes. Greater energy efficiency is also crucial to make best use of the green energy available. All of this means that Denmark will need twice as much electricity as it uses today. As a result, Denmark will need to build much more offshore wind, onshore wind and solar energy, while also upgrading the power grid to meet the growing demand for green electricity. This is how Denmark can lower its carbon emissions to 21 million tonnes, a 70% reduction by 2030. Denmark is one thing, but how can this small country help the rest of the world to reduce their carbon emissions? Denmark has far more green energy resources than the country needs, especially in the North Sea, which is one of the best areas in the world to harness the power of offshore wind. Denmark can exploit this potential and deliver large amounts of green energy to help pave the way for a climate-neutral Europe in 2050. By leading the way in the green transition, Denmark can develop green technologies to be deployed on a global scale. In this way, Denmark plays an important role in reducing carbon emissions around the world. This will help fight climate change. It will create and sustain jobs. It will strengthen Denmark's position as a green pioneer, and it will contribute to Denmark's future welfare and prosperity. It is possible to meet the 70% target, and Denmark has the potential to achieve it. The target comes with a price tag and it will require a large investment, but the cost is manageable. In the Danish energy and utility sector, we are ready to invest and make our contribution. But Denmark can only reach 70% through swift and comprehensive political action. Let's show that it's possible. Let's take action together.